That was a long time ago. The typical, I did get a car quite early on. I think it was an Audi A3, something like that. But no, it sounds cliche, but I think that was probably the first proper purchase, like I said, when I turned pro. Probably the main one I always remember is David James. When I was at Bristol City, he signed him, but he was on the back of him playing in the World Cup. I think it was in South Africa that year. He was obviously the main number one keeper for England, and obviously we signed with Bristol City, so it was quite a big deal. And then he was part of our changing room, so that was probably the one that always sticks in my memory. And he was a great man, to be fair. I don't know, I didn't think of it. The last time I was starstruck would have been Wayne Rooney when we played Man United in the FA Cup. Me and him were both captains that day, so obviously you go into the ref room before the game, and obviously walking into the ref room was obviously Wayne Rooney and Ryan Giggs. So two of my probably biggest heroes growing up, and I'm sort of on the level playing field against them that day. So the first professional appearance was for Bath City, but that was in the conference. That was a real eye opener. I think we lost 4-0 away at. We've got a few, I'll tell you that. The last team I want to room at the moment is Ben Reeves, because last time we roomed together we both got took off at half time that next day. So we always say now we're a bad omen for each other. Other than that, he's actually all right, but we always say that's our little omen that we can't room together again. Oh, look at that. Is that picture of me no beard looks strange. No, that must have been my first professional contract at Bristol, so I was very young, just coming out. So it's not the best, is it? I enjoyed school and did well in my exams, so I'd have gone straight to uni and done some sort of business degree, I'd imagine, something like that. Runs in my family, my dad owns his own business and things like that. So missing the chance on Saturday is basically an open goal. I kicked over the bar basically from about a yard out away at Doncaster. 1-0, we were losing 1-0 at the time, and I should have scored. Basically, I was just in the middle of the box, should have scored. So I met David Beckham. He came to our training ground at Bristol City. Didn't actually have a conversation with him, but he came and he was sort of there, and it's the big thing. And obviously Bex was my hero growing up and things like that. So I look better, but I haven't really played much better, have I? They're not respecting my shooting enough. Got 7 goals this year. Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah. I'm more Ronaldo than Messi just for the fact that the where he's come from. Do you know what I mean? He's transformed his body into what he is now. He's an absolute machine. Like I said, he's still performing at the top level at his age now, and he's been consistent for however many years now, which is what makes him the greatest. Him and Messi on par on that. Jerome Opoku, he's about 16'8", legs are longer than my whole body, big centre half, so he can hurt you without even meaning to, probably. But I'd still fancy myself winning it, but yeah, probably him. Mbappe, I'd imagine his pace is ridiculous on there, so that usually helps. I'm playing right wing back at the moment, so against a lot of good wingers, they're usually very quick and strong. Probably Peterborough's Dembele. He's a very good player, dribbles with it unbelievable. It's hard to get the ball off. So probably recently that'd be the one we played against who's been top draw. So that would have been when I was 18, which is 12 years ago. So probably 08, 09 maybe. But I've just recently had kids, twins actually. So you can imagine the lead up to that. There's plenty of doubts of how do I do this? You know what I mean? First kids, and you have 2 straight away. So. I wouldn't say doubt, but that was probably the outside of football, the first bit where you're thinking, can I do this? Am I ready for this? Probably Gary Johnson. I had him for many years at Bristol City and then at Yeovil Town, where we had a lot of success. So he's probably been my biggest help and inspiration as a player in terms of a manager. Now we've got a brilliant manager in Brian Lowe, who probably be the same if I ever left him. Do you know what I mean? I'd bring him for advice. In a 5-0, you need certain players, and Yannick Bolasie was brilliant. His skills and his footwork's unbelievable. So in a 5-a-side team, I can imagine he'd be very good. We've got a thing here, Gary Sawyer, our captain. He's about 35, but he dresses like he's 18. He's up there. Danny Mayer, he thinks he's got a bit, but his dress ends in for me either. So his jeans are ridiculously tight. So I'll probably say between them two. Energy. So in terms of your personality being, being an energetic person, day to day. Do you know what I mean? In and around the building, having that sort of that energy to get people going, but also when you're on the pitch to have energy as a real thing in terms of getting up and down and being about the pitch and having that enthusiasm to play, probably. We got promoted last year. It was massive for us. It was the goal we set out to do, and it wasn't achieved in the way we wanted it, finishing the season early, but it was an achievement that we were very proud to do. Yeah, there's a few. Danny Mayer, get on really well with him. We're roommates, and so he'd be one of them. And then, like I said, Gary Sawyer, he's a good friend of mine. We travelling together, known each other for many years. So yeah, either of them would be first on my list, probably. More of an old school thing. That used to be at Bristol City. We used to do it all the time. People were driving cars around to KFC and leaving them there, and then the boys come out got a car and take someone's keys from the changing room. And we used to have a KFC. It was about half a mile down the road. Going with another lad, he'd drive it, and then the other one will pick you up, drop you back down, and if nothing happened, then you just walk around. Then obviously when the lad's car, you come out and he hasn't got his car, he can't work out. His keys are in his pocket, they're back in, but he can't work out where his car is.